Through with the strength in you, dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you, hey boo, hey coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do? Coming through with the strength in you. You made it, good job. Strength in you, coming through. Strength in you, coming through, hey boo.
Hey, boo, didn't let you get the rest of it, but hey. Hey, boo, hey. Happy Monday. We made it. Happy Monday. Let me get the king in on the team. Hold up.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Strength in You. I'm your boy Junior Hernandez. As always, with me, here you go. My beautiful host here, Mrs. Joy Turner. How you doing?
Man, listen, first of all, you see what I'm rocking. I got my situation on because no more self sabotage. So I've been in the building trying to, sleep in my brace, make sure I stretch out for the few hours that I get it in. So that's been working out well. I'm at like 65 degrees now with the active mobility. So But
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little tired. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know, I come to you raw. I just threw off my thing this morning, but I went to see my auntie over the weekend and we turned up a little bit and it was good. But my flight was crazy because Frontier, anybody who's ever flown Frontier know Frontier is not okay. Okay. Hey
Hey,
boo. Good
Mrs.
morning, honey.
How you doing?
But yeah,
I know
so
Frontier. I'm gonna be taking Frontier. When I go to see you in North Carolina, so I'm not looking forward to that. You're not. It's a good, beautiful light.
yeah, don't look forward to it because I mean, even my flight when I departed, it was supposed to leave at one time and I left like 2 hours later. And then they didn't even clean the plane when I got on it, so I had to make maneuvers. And then when I got on it, it was some baby kids, and they weren't even my color, so that made me feel good that they was not like me, but not, I don't know if how I'm saying that good,
No,
but
they were acting up and they weren't your stereotypical.
thank you. That's how I'm trying to say it. That's it right there. Good job. See, that's something we need to.
I got you, bro. I got you, bro.
But yeah, no. So, but I will say it was awesome because we did some stuff. I got my auntie to go bowling. We went to a little drag show, and then we did some karaoke. And yeah, it was a good time. All that in a little weekend. So turn up.
That's cool. That's cool. You had a action-packed weekend, and that was to start the week
Yeah,
on the right foot. It looks like you're starting it off on, I don't know, your knees, not your foot, but you're
right.
gonna make the show epic. And I have, even though you were late with can you come with some facts? I got you. I got some good ones.
I
So
already know because you cold with it. That's why you wisdom. I ain't got to give you nothing but like 5 minutes, and you'll make it happen. See, I
I,
ain't worried about you, bro. I know you got it. But
I
that's because
got
everything. Listen, everything was set tripping this morning. 3 minutes ago, my whole production just shut down.
you. Hmm.
I had to
I
figure
was
it
like,
out.
doing the show because I don't have the power to start the show. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'll do the show by myself, but I can't start it.
Yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
just.
I got the cussing, but I was like, life is life of me this morning. But y'all already know. We always say you got to adapt to the situation. So that's all that happened. And it ain't going to never take my shine or my joy. You see, I'm still smiling because we still in the building. No matter what happens, we will always be in the building. So that's the part that matters most, like real talk. But today we got a little interesting show going on. So originally it was going to be a Mimic Monday, right? But I switched it up because number one, since I was with my auntie all weekend, I didn't focus on the show. So I didn't really have my setup situated for Mimic Monday. But also while I was on this plane and I had that situation with these kids and stuff, I started to realize that it started early that we're treated different with our trauma and just stuff when we're going through it. And this kid, she was going through stuff and she hit her head or whatever, and of course she crying and all that. And of course, usually you can't hurt yourself. You rub them a little bit and then it ends or whatever. Well, they kind of start like bribing her to be quiet. Like, I'll buy you this. And it kind of started to irritate me because I was like, if that was a little boy, that wouldn't have been the same case. So then I
Yeah.
started just thinking about stuff and how just life and our traumas and just everything is different when it comes to male and female. Girls are like, "Oh, you okay?" And then boys are like, "Shut up, sit down, be quiet, you all right?" Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? So it just made me want to talk about that a little bit. But besides that, we got our history because we got to get the education and the history going.
Good one. I got a twofer today on the
Good, we
history.
got 40 and we finna get y'all set up for some good old knowledge. And we got our young word of the day. And to be fair, this word is a word we actually use. So I don't have to hear wisdom say.
Finally. Oh my God, a word I can actually use. I'm
Yeah,
so
you ready for it? Why you all?
I am.
I hate the shit at you right now. But no, real talk. I got this word. Hold up, y'all. The word of the day, don't wait, educate. The word of the day, don't wait, educate.
I think I'm gonna start doing it all this time. I think I'm gonna start doing that when that.
I know I
the
saw you and you motivated me to go. We petty.
Yeah.
But no,
Concord. I know that word.
yeah.
Oh
Do you know the actual meaning?
no. But I'm glad we're gonna find out. That's the whole purpose of the word of the day, right?
That is absolutely. Yes, we're gonna find out. So let's find out together, y'all, real quick. Cause I've seen Concord and I almost feel like I know what it means, but we're gonna just find out together. And that's the beauty of it. Cause we learn together, we
No.
grow.
See that comment?
Not yet. Hold up. Hold up, y'all. I do this every time. Okay, here
Oh
we
my
go.
God. Concord.
Concord, let the people hear. But it's still an old word. It's a French word from the 14th century. But it's an agreement or harmony between people or groups.
Or a chord that is pleasing or satisfactory in itself. I didn't know that.
See, we learning. We learning. Okay, let me stop playing. The two sides of case reached a concord and mediation.
Jerry played a variety of concords on the Gibson guitar.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna say I have reached a concord with recovering with stroke. We got an agreement. That's what I'm doing right now. I've agreed to do my part and no longer self-sabotage my life.
And I guess I'll keep with the music, right? Um, when I'm at church, I love when my piano player hits all the concords when we're jamming out.
Okay, okay. Hey guys, throw your sentences up in here so I can put them out. Let me see what's going on here. I believe all crotch goblins should be treated equally.
It hurts so much right now. I'm gonna call a baby a crotch goblin forever now.
Stupid. No, but throw these concord sentences in so we can get it in, y'all. Let's learn together and grow together because that's what it's about. We're shining our light down. No other way to live. Okay, my voice is messed up because I've been laughing all weekend. Y'all hear it. But let's get in tune. What's your history? Because mine's a mystery. Let's uncover it and try to see. Hey, I like my songs. I'm starting to get okay.
I'm in the background like jamming out.
So,
like, what's your mystery, baby?
bars.
Bars.
No, but we got 4 queens for y'all because my king over here, Wisdom, got 2 queens.
A queen, and a king.
Okay, you got a set. I appreciate that too. We still need to know what's going on. I got 2 queens for you. One of these names, let me tell y'all right now, okay? I am about to destroy this name. And I'm just gonna do it all both of them. Well, let's see. Delinda Rodriguez de Almeida. Say that, Junior.
Dolinda Rodriguez de Almeida.
I said it almost right.
Almost.
How? But okay, She is a writer. Wait a minute, hold up. She was born February 10th, 1939, and she passed away 1968. She was a writer, translator, revolutionary movement leader, and a woman's rights activist. She's known as the mother of revolutionary for her role in the England independence movement. She co-founded the Women's Division of People Movement for Liberation of Angola, corresponded with Martin Luther King Jr. in an efforts to get ideas on how to help her country fight for independence from the Portuguese. Tortured and executed after being captured for her political work. And she died a martyr of the struggle for freedom in Angola.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
okay. Deolinda, y'all. Deolinda.
Deolinda.
We come in all kind of forms. I love this. I love that. I love it. Okay, now this one. Okay, this one. This is the one. Okay, this is the one. I'm just gonna show it to you. I'm gonna. I'm gonna show it. Okay. Let's go, wisdom.
Chimamanda. Chimamanda. I would say I think the end is silent, so I'm gonna go Gazi. Adichie. I don't know.
All them people.
That part.
Yeah, but Chimamanda. Gozi. Adichie. Yeah, I'll go with that too, because that's all I can get.
She's like holding back a sneeze when you said that. But go ahead.
She was born September 15, 1977, and she's actually still alive, guys. Yay, this queen is still here. She is a poet, a novelist, and an author of African and feminist literature. Traveled from Nigeria to the U.S. to further her education in communication, political science, and African studies. She's penned the prize-winning novel Purple Hibiscus, as well as several books of poetry and other novels. Elected into the American Academy of Arts and Science for her intellectual honors. She speaks regularly. Why can't I say that good? That's a stroke problem. Speaks regularly on
regularly.
Right, yeah, that word.
No, we're not doing that. Regularly.
You're right. Regularly. Yes. Yep. Okay, she speaks regularly on women's issues and promotes feminism through her work. Part of one of Adichie's TEDx talks was sampled in Beyonce's 2013 song Flawless.
I didn't know that.
So I think we do hear a person talking. I just never knew who it was. So when you listen to Flawless and you hear that speech in Flawless, because we all be jamming Flawless. No, that is Miss Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And if we saying your name wrong, girl, you heard this, tell us. But let's find out who our king at. Let us know what's going on. Let us know about your history, bro.
So we're going to talk about two people. Actually, it's a couple. It's a man and a woman. The first one is Cesar Chavez. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. So Cesar Chavez was born in Arizona in 1927 to a Mexican-American family. Cesar Chavez was a labor leader and a civil rights activist. Having worked as a manual laborer, he was concerned with farm workers' rights. After serving in the Navy, he became involved with the Community Service Organization, also known as the CSO, in California, an important civil rights organization for Latinx people. along with Dolores Huerta, who we're going to talk about right after this. He co-founded the National Farm Workers Association, also known as the NFWA, and led a peaceful protest and marches to advocate for Latinx civil rights. Chavez was posthumously, I'm saying it again, posthumously, there we go, awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and his legacy lives on today in the workers' rights movement. So shout out to Mr. Cesar Chavez, and we're actually gonna talk about Dolores Huerta now,
Okay.
and we cannot mention Cesar Chavez without also naming Dolores Huerta as one of the most influential Hispanic Americans. Born in New Mexico in 1930, Dolores would go on to become a leading civil rights activist. She met Cesar Chavez in California while working for the CSO, and the two bonded. Together, they made a name for themselves by leading successful worker strikes and her work for women's rights. Um, Now in her 90s, so she's still alive. She is the face of the Dolores Huerta Foundation, whose mission is to inspire and organize communities to build a volunteer organization to empowered to pursue social justice. Huerta received several accolades throughout her career, including the inaugural Eleanor Roosevelt Award for Human Rights in 1998 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012. So shout out to Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta for activating civil rights for us Latinx people here in America.
That's what's up. Shout out. Hey, Diamond Boo.
What up? What up?
I've come to a concord with my insurance company. Good sentence, Catherine. Um,
Um,
no, but shout out to all the queens and kings making moves out there, making sure they people win and not just thinking about themselves. And that's kind of
yeah,
how we need to start moving in general anyway. I wish there were more people who were selfless and thought about the community and wanted to empower and help. But y'all know what time it is. You know what time it is.
When you
know.
motivate, you elevate. It's motivation time. When you motivate, you elevate. It's motivation time.
all right, it's motivation time with your boy Wisdom. And this week I want to talk about um, just getting up and doing what you have to do, and not talking about motivation, but just staying consistent when you don't want to do things, right? Like I remember I took a little break off working out because I was a little sick. So when I started again, I jumped on the bandwagon like I never missed a beat. What was I wrong for that? 'Cause I was so sore. But in that soreness, I learned something that we have to stay in our own lane, right? Don't try to keep up with the next man or friend. I remember yesterday, I went for a walk with my mom and dad at the park, and I was trying to, at one point, keep up with my walker, moving quickly with them. And I got to the point where I was like, "Oh, just stay in your lane. Stay, stay in your lane and go at your pace and go with what you feel is comfortable." And also, like staying consistent is a big thing. Like making little adjustments every single day, right? Take a day off working out, but just stay consistent. Even those days when you're not working out, do something. Do go for a walk, or do some stretching, or do some yoga. Do something that low impact that you're not gonna be. pushing yourself every single day. Because as stroke survivors, we do get tired. And we get tired quicker than most, right? Or quicker than the usual. So let's stay consistent and do what you have to do to move forward. And honestly, like, don't always count on your support system. Sometimes you have to dig deep and just go out and do it for yourself. Because, like my brother told me a million times, if it was up to him, he would walk for me and do whatever he had to do for me. But I have to get up and have to do it myself. And no one's going to do it for you, unfortunately. So just stay consistent with whatever you got to do. So I do have a quote, and it's by Lupita. I don't know how to say her name.
Come on, you got it. You got
Nyango.
it.
Nyango. Lupita Nyango.
Okay.
That's not right. You can't rely on how you look to sustain you. What sustains us, what is fundamentally beautiful, is compassion for yourself and those around you. So yeah, you stay consistent and do whatever you have to do to move forward. And tomorrow's a new day, right? If we fail today, tomorrow's a new day to go out there and kick butt. So just stay on top of it. I love you. And I'll see you next week for motivation time. Woo.
No, I love it. I want to piggyback off you real quick just because I want to say not only stroke survivors get tired like that, we all get tired like that. But I wanted to talk about the fact that as stroke survivors, when we are tired, just what the fuck? I mean, what was stroke brain? Okay, wait. What was I? How was I about to say it? Oh, I was gonna say, none of you had a stroke, half stroke. You know how I'm always being funny, and we recreated this word stroke. It's a fact. Like we've had strokes, and even regular people who go through what they go through, whatever it is, what it is, we all need to learn how to have stroke. Strength through recovery over needing emotions. Everybody's still around here. Woe is me. Why does my life? Da, 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 da. And that ain't gonna change the situation. It ain't gonna make it no better. So all you can do is accept what is and own it and put on your big boy drawers, big girl panties, whatever it is that you wear, and just do what's necessary. Because saying woe is me, why not you? Again, as I've always said, ain't nobody gonna ever do it like you. So if you going through it, it's probably because you're the one that's strong enough to handle it. You don't feel strong enough in the moment, and that's because you're going through it. Oftentimes when we live stuff, we don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we feel everything actually because we're the ones living it. But if you take a step back and you really look at it, you'll realize the strength that's coming from the woes of life. You building yourself, but it's how you perceiving what you're going through. So you got to look at it and see it differently and just have stroke. Find that strength through recovery over needing emotions because massaging that feeling of why did this happen? That ain't gonna make nothing happen but more depression. And don't nobody need to add on to that because again, we got enough of that just around us. So why you gonna throw it into yourself? You need to feed yourself life and love and energy and peace. So don't do that. Don't self-sabotage. But anywho, let me see. Yes, I agree it's tough, but you gotta do it for yourself. It's just learning that as I go through the process. Yes, yes, you're absolutely right.
Piggyback off your piggyback real quick.
Okay.
It's okay to feel like down, right? Like it's okay to feel that way. We're only human. But what we're trying to say is like you can't live there, right? Like you have to pick up the pieces and move forward. Like staying there and staying in your self pity isn't gonna help anything. Learning from okay, I made that mistake. I feel this way for the X or Y reasons. What can I do tomorrow to better myself so I don't have to repeat that same thing? That's what we're talking about. Is moving on, allowing yourself to acknowledge that yes, this happened in my life and it's unfortunate, but tomorrow's a new day and a new opportunity to push forward.
Absolutely. Look, we're gonna be piggybacking all day because I'm like, listen, I'm piggybacking, and the whole point is we all fall down. Period. We all fall down, and when you fall down, it's a matter of how you get up. How long are you gonna lay there and be like, this hurts so bad? You know how when you fall, you're like, and you just be laying there rocking because it hurts. Don't do that for too long because you're gonna lay there in that self-pity. It's like, oh my God, why? Don't do that. It's unnecessary. You ain't gonna never get up that way. So all we saying is
Okay.
we love y'all. Basically, that's what we saying too, Stacy. We love you and we want you to get up. Get up just as hard as you feel. Get up as strong. Don't get up too well. We can get up slow. It's not about how fast you get up, right? Don't get up too fast, but it's really about just getting up and not staying in that position of why did this happen to me? Why my life? And just why me? Because we all have a why me story or a why me moment or any of that. So just don't stay there and know that you are important enough.
I love that. If you fail 6 times, get up 7. I love
What
that.
she said.
I love that.
Catherine, we love you, boo. You already know what it is, though. But no, that's real, and that's all we're talking about because that's the part of life that's kind of the hardest part. Because sometimes some falls can be real, like you fell down the stairs and it was 5 at a time, so that not feel it hurts. So we're not gonna pretend like things don't hurt you. But if you're a person of faith, then you know that it's all something to strengthen you. And even if you're not a person of faith, you know that you got strength in yourself to do what's necessary to boost you to the next level. So again, just don't stay there and allow it to take over. But with all of that being said, we got a few little facts we want to talk about, none too crazy, but you know.
Let's raise awareness, you see. Why? Because prevention is key.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. You thought it was coming twice. You was ready.
I was gonna remix.
No, but okay. So you already know. I'm only gonna say be faster one time because by the time we done with all these seasons and stuff, you're gonna know what that acronym means. But today we're gonna also talk about diabetes because that is another form of trauma. You know, although people don't realize medical conditions bring trauma, they are trauma. They're traumatic. So we want to talk about it a little bit and some signs and some stuff like that. But be faster, balance, eyes, face, arm, speech, time for the ER. Okay, that your emergency room. But wisdom, you want to kick off our wellness facts while I try to.
I do. I'll clear out the facts about diabetes. First off, what is diabetes, right? Like everyone knows, but do you really? So, it's a group of diseases that result in too much sugar in your blood. That's what diabetes is. A vast majority of people with diabetes have type 2 diabetes. One of my best friends, Nate, who I'm going to get on the show eventually, he lives with type 2 diabetes. So, as a person who's living with it, I want him to kind of tell his story and tell what he has to deal with because it's a pretty brutal disease. Like a lot of people think it's like so common because it is, but like he goes through it. He goes through it. You know, and
Hold
about
up, wisdom, because I don't want to. Hold up, I'm sorry. I don't want to go get too far past it, and then people be
we
like,
don't.
"What you
Yeah,
talking about?" Okay, so for example, with insurance companies, I always make up and down about approving more therapy visits, and I just said to myself, the visits will eventually stop. So now just do things on my own. Okay, okay, that's a good point, Ida. Thank you for that. Because you do get therapy for a certain amount of time and then they cut you off. But the thing is, they cut you off to make sure you're doing the exercises that they taught you, but you get to go back. So you don't have to stop. So for this past 10 years, I've been doing therapy on and off this whole time. So yeah, although you possibly been cut off from your therapy, um, if it's been longer than I think 3 months, you get to go and put in another referral with your primary to get more therapy visits. So don't let them tell you how much therapy you need. You just let them see your consistency and your persistence with your recovery, and put that time in, and you will keep getting your therapies. You got anything to say with that, Junior?
I go through therapy myself, so I know they approve you for like depends on your insurance, but
Mm-hmm.
you have you from anywhere from 12 to 18 weeks at a time, and then because therapy is expensive, so what they do is they take you time off But in that time off, that's time for you to be consistent, like what we talked about during motivation time, and learn some of the tricks in the trade that they're applying for you. Some of the things you can do on your own. You just have to be motivated to do them. You don't need somebody in your ear. Hey, do this, do that. Like, yeah, it helps, but that's part of being consistent. So just during that time off when you're not going to therapy, just
Yeah.
do your own therapy at home. And then obviously you don't have access to all the tools and workout equipment they have at therapy. So do what you can at home, and then when you go back, go harder. Just go harder.
The pain makes the good so much more worthwhile. You are so factual, but that don't mean it don't hurt, girl. No, but when you have to when you start to plateau is when you need to go back to therapy. But other than that, just keep doing your thing. But I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I just wanted to get that coming in.
So where was it? Okay, 90 to 95% of people with diabetes have type 2, while about 5% have type 1. And the remainder have gestational diabetes. I don't know what that is, but
We'll find that out on another topic.
it's type 2. Type 2 is like the majority. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Yes, you're
and
absolutely correct.
yes. And type 1 diabetes is most common in young people. So
Okay.
just because, like, same thing with the stroke, like, diabetes can affect anybody, right? You're not taking care of yourself. I'm pre-diabetic, so I have to watch what I take in. Hopefully, and thank God I'm not full-blown diabetic, but that was enough time for me where I was like, okay, I have to watch what I'm taking in so I don't become a diabetic. You know what I mean? So type 1 diabetes usually develops early in life and has been known previously as insulin dependent or juvenile diabetes. Um, it's most common in African American and Hispanics or Latinos. So if you're a person of color, you're more susceptible to it. So just take care of yourself.
And unfortunately, let's be clear, if you're a person of color, chances are you're more susceptible to anything because we got it bad. Like us, y'all know. So it is what it is. But no, some signs for pre-diabetics can include. Listen, this is gonna sound funny, but it's real life. So you know how people have they black around their neck, had that ring around the neck, and then it's kind of like cracked up and it's like crispy. I don't know how to explain it, but if
All I
you
thought
have
about was like a bacon neck. But go
kind
ahead.
of like a bacon neck, yeah, ooh, that's good. But no, that's a sign of pre-diabetes. Like it's a ring around. It's called. Hold on, I can't say that word. ACA. No, I'm not. Nope. Acanthosis necrans. Nope, I
Mm,
didn't say that right. But
close
long
enough.
story short, if you know people, especially light skinned people, but their neck is really, really dark and it look really cracked up, that's probably they probably are pre-diabetic, and you probably, if y'all friends, you should talk about it. And with that being said, before I even go into more signs, people don't say stuff to their friends because they be like, "You friends, you're not supposed to hurt their feelings," but real friends supposed to look out. So if you see your friend suffering, or you may think something going on, just ask questions or be like, "Hey, you might want to check into whatever it is," because they may not know the signs. And if you don't say nothing, you can't help nobody. And everybody thinks that that's a problem. And that's actually one of the best qualities in a friend. So if you don't have a friend that's going to like call you out or ask questions and kind of get in your business a little bit,
Is that really your friend? You know what I mean? So
for real, for real. So yeah, with that being said, y'all find out. But yeah, dark neck and then skin tags, like especially like African American people. I noticed like my sister, she's diabetic and she has a lot of moles. So if you have a lot of moles growing on, they call them skin tags. We call them moles, y'all. And they just on your body and they just kind of appearing. It seems like the older you get the moles. You may be pre-diabetic. Also, you have a half fat content. You frequently thirsty. Then you have decreased hunger, unexplained weight loss or weight gain. Like you're not trying to do anything. You're not doing nothing different. Just your weight is fluxing and it's out of control. Just go to the doctor, y'all. They say slow healing of your cuts or your wounds may determine you're pre-diabetic. Numbness in your hands or your feet, blurred vision, or you have frequent yeast infections. And know that men, you can get yeast infections too. It ain't you ain't off limits. It ain't you don't discriminate. That's what I'm trying to say.
What? Okay.
Yeah, but it don't discriminate. So just make sure. The point is, guys. Yes, I have type 2, and I find that diet helps. Um, the whole point of why we do these facts is because if you know better, you can do better. Gestational is with pregnancy. Oh, thanks for that, Catherine. Gestational diabetes. That's what she's talking about, guys. So you know. She said you said crispy.
That's hilarious. But I'm ooh.
I'm gonna leave that alone. That's true.
You're trying to read the comments and I said the whole
Okay,
word.
yeah. This is what I anyway, we're gonna get that situated next time. But for real, the reason why we do these facts, guys, is
Move.
hey boo. But no, we do these facts because it's important to be able to know better, to do better, and all that kind of stuff. So I know y'all be like, we ain't come to go to school. But again, strength in you comes in all kind of forms with your mental, your physical, your spiritual, all kind of ways. So we want to make sure we educate in all kind of forms and make sure we put that positivity out there, because although these are issues with communities and they actually kill some people, actually die from these kind of things, we're again just trying to limit those numbers and lessen them. So that's what it's all about. But let's get into them. um I just got thrown. Let's get into it and talk about this topic though, because when you're dealing with life in general, with male and female, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, people let you go through it differently. Like for women, as a little girls get to be all, I hate to say it, but irritating. And they get to be whiny little brats and people accept it. But little boys can't do the same thing. So when they're older or they go through real life experiences, like for instance, stroke, they go through it differently. They can't express the emotion like we can because of what's already been bred into them. How you feel about that, Wisdom?
I struggled. I still kind of struggle with because I feel like the stroke kind of like allowed me to be a little more emotional, right? As a person. Um, but I still struggle with expressing that emotion because I'm not used to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was used to kind of like you bottle up your emotions, but don't cry, all the stereotypes that they provide. But it's true, like we're not allowed in a certain light. Not that we're not allowed, but we're not raised to show our emotions.
No, you
So
said it right. You said it right.
when we get to the point where I am now, it's a lot harder to deal with things because we're not used to that. So um, yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle with me, and I still struggle with it to this day. Like I have days where I'm like a little emotional. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Um,
It's
but
just
a lot of it is like past traumas. When I go to my guidance counselor, the guidance counselor, my therapist, and I've been able to find out I have a lot of drama from when I was young, and my whole life has been full of drama. So it's like my way of like your mind and your soul is like slowly allowing itself like, hey, we're gonna come on eventually. Like you gotta deal with it when it comes out. So um as from guy to guy, I don't know if there's a lot of guys watching the show, but guy to guy, it's okay to be emotional, right? Um, keep it in check. Don't be too emotional. But
What
it's okay. It's okay to be emotional.
with that being said, that's the same thing for women though. And because we were allowed to be so extra as little kids, because this is how I truly feel. Because I was talking to my nephew, he lived in Arizona too, so I got to see him while I was there. And he was talking about how his aunties are a different breed than most women because although we are emotional, like we don't sit there that long, and we weren't allowed to do that as little girls. It was still shut the hell up for us, you know what I'm saying? So we're kind of like boys, I guess, to a degree. And so because most little girls are allowed to be that way growing up, when they are older like me, they throw tantrums, and their spouses and their other people suffer because we're overly emotional sometimes to a fault that you need to reel it in. And everything don't require you to break down, and everything don't require you to be hysterical and screaming and snapping on everybody, you know what I mean? So the reason why this topic was really important to me, because like I said, what I saw on the plane, I realized this stems from when they're little. And we have to stop teaching these kids that this is acceptable. We have to teach them how to process and deal, like that healthy balance. Like it's okay to be emotional and have your feelings about things, but at the same time, let's get over it and go forward and do what's necessary. Let's not, you know what I mean? But because of what's in our pants, society has raised us this way. And even with like how the police view us, you will be seen, even though I'm black, you're a male and you have dark skin. So they don't know you're Hispanic. They just see your skin and you're a male.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
don't.
gonna be a different, you know what I mean? So I might have drugs in my pocket. They won't check me because I'm a chick. Whereas you ain't got nothing, but they'll pull you or check you or whatever because you're a male. And it's like, dude, this is a problem.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it is. But we have to, as a society, allow ourselves to. I think we're doing a better job at that. Like there wasn't like so much emphasis on therapy and allowing yourself to talk about your emotions, especially as a guy. The girl days and the parents, yeah, yeah. Um, and I think we're doing a better job as a society of allowing ourselves to be a little more expressive
Yeah.
with our feelings. So we're definitely heading in the right direction. I just don't
Yeah.
want it to be get out of hand, like you said. Keeping it checks and balances, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to express yourself, but don't overboard. Don't go overboard with it. Like I think there's like a certain
But what is
uh
an overboard?
like okay for me, like for instance, I'm gonna speak on myself. I'm not gonna
Right.
make
You can
any.
only do that. Right.
So like if I get emotional, I feel like I have to cry, right?
Okay.
Um, my initial thought is like, we don't cry, right? We keep that in, but then I allow myself to, okay, like go in the bathroom, right? Or go in the shower, get it out, and then once I let it out, I'm good.
But
I'm
why
good.
do you feel the need to have to get in? Do you feel the need to have to get in the shower to cry? Like you want to wash it off while you're crying?
Yeah, just get two birds with one stone, really. It's
I
not,
hear you.
it's not, oh, I want to, like, anytime I'm in the shower, it's like to cry. It's not one of those things. It's like I'm an ugly crier, especially now. So when it comes out, it comes out. So
Right.
it's let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's take a shower and and there's something relaxing when you're underwater, under stream water.
Yeah.
There's something comforting to that. So I think it's like a comforting thing as well.
No, I feel you. It happens for me sometimes too. I was just wondering because I was wondering if it was. Did you hop in the shower because you didn't want nobody to see you crying? Was it a shameful thing, or was it just more of along the lines of you knowing like it's just as quick as it come out of me, I want it off of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think I mix up both. To be honest with you, I'm not one to like I have to be really comfortable around you, to allow myself to like cry
Yeah,
around you.
yeah.
As a guy, like I want to keep that personal, right? Like you want to keep that to yourself. So it's rare if I allow myself to cry in front of somebody else.
Now is it do guys now I've been around plenty of guys raised with my cousins, all that, and I know what's said out the mouth, but I want to know if it really is what sits in the brain of a man.
Mm.
Is it the thing of I don't want nobody to see me crying because I'm a punk if they see me crying, which means I'm weak.
I think that's like more of a stereotype between men. You know,
That's what I'm at. Do it sit there though when you about to cry? Like, does it resurface every time some tears ready to come? Like,
it depends on what you're crying about. Um,
okay.
like I remember, before I had the stroke, um, my life was just like it was just starting to take off in the right direction, and I just kept dealing with life. You know what I mean? And it got to the point where I had lost the place I was gonna stay at. Like I had made this deposit, all the money I had, and it fell through. And I wasn't like it. Well, that's a story for another time. But I remember I just like I was overwhelmed and I just cried. It wasn't like I didn't have a thought of like, oh, I don't want to look like a punk or whatever. It just like I had to cry. I was too overwhelmed with my emotions to deal with anything. And this is before my show. And I remember like I felt a lot better once I got it out. But during that process, it was like a necessity that I
Right.
had to do, you know?
Okay. That makes sense. But no, I was even thinking as far as how it's so much easier for women to get a man when they go through trauma versus a man getting a woman when he goes through trauma. And the difference is there.
Yeah. I think like it's kind of like a badge, like wearing a badge, right? Like, oh, he's went through some trauma, he's went through some ish, so he can handle himself better. I think that's more of a, in my opinion, I think it's more of a, like, you know, you want your man to be able to handle some trauma.
Protect you, yeah.
And whereas a girl, like you don't want a girl that has a lot of trauma and a lot of, because like as a guy, you look at a girl, right? In my opinion, uh,
That's
after like
BS.
breakfast, everything, but like you want your girl to kind of be innocent a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's like
See, that's
me.
you stereotypical right there. Because that ain't fair. You should both be able to go through trauma and not be seen as well because you're. That's like saying because you're a girl, you got to be pretty. But boys can walk around looking sloppy and nasty because they're a
No,
boy.
I
Like
don't agree
you
with that.
can't be like, well, because you're a girl. I want my girl to be a little innocent because girls want their man to be a little innocent. Some of them. But then you have the stereotype of they want a bad boy, somebody tough, who rough, who can make sure they on both sides. They got the street and the hood, so it's like,
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
and I guess it's really about preference. But I guess what I'm saying is we put so much emphasis on certain things based off the sex of a person, and it makes it just so much harder for other things in life to transpire, like getting a relationship for a man who wants a woman and he's a stroke survivor, for instance. I know plenty of male stroke survivors who have issues getting, relationships, and it's because unfortunately so many women are vain and all they see is the physical deficit of a stroke survivor and make it damn near impossible, and you got to meet them online, and then when they meet you in person it's like a catfishing situation, and it shouldn't be, because if you really looked at the heart of a person over what we've as society put as important, it's ridiculous. And I'm like, all these differences is what keeps separating us, and we're never going to have that real equality like everybody say they want. Everybody say they want equality, but so they people be like, "Oh, well, then that mean I can knock the shit out of a girl then because she want to be equal to a man." That's not
Nah,
what that means. That just means we should all be able to go through things equally and not be seen as well because you're this. You should be seen. You know what I mean? How you just said.
you're right. You're right. You're right. I see where you're coming from. Again, this is why we have to have these conversations because I
Mhm.
haven't had a conversation like this with the female, you know, in general.
Yeah,
Um, so it's good to like kind of throw your ideas and what you believe out there and see if it sticks or it doesn't stick. You know what I mean? So, I definitely agree with that statement where like you like it should be equal like place for trauma's sake, that everyone can go through it and come out of it on the other side. And as a man, I think it's a real confidence issue. Um, like I don't have a problem telling people what you know what I've dealt with or like who I am now.
right.
Uh, and so it doesn't become a catfish situation. I think a lot of men try to paint themselves in the light, and then when it's time to when the cookies to crumble, they fall with a lie because you know you start off with the lie.
That's
You
true, but
start
unfortunately,
honest.
yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, we live in a world that they feel like they have to, and that's what I'm saying is the issue. They feel like they have to because there's so many people who vain and only see what's on the outside because they forget the part that's gonna last forever is literally what's in the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like
Again, in my opinion, if you have to lie to a girl like right off the jump, she's probably not for you. Real
facts.
talk.
I agree with that, 100%.
I'm at that point now. I'm 36. I don't got time for that. Like I don't got time to make up this whole facade. Like this is what it is, right? This is who I am. If you like me, cool. If you don't, I'll keep on moving. I don't got time to be wasting trying to like I'm not in my twenties anymore. I don't got time for that.
Right? No,
So
I feel you.
yeah.
I feel you. But like I just want to talk about it more because I'm just like, man, it sucks to feel like and think that people of trauma can only be with people of trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't be with nobody else because the world only sees them as this. Or like you say, and I'm just using an example. I mean that as an example because you said it. When you said that as a girl, you want your girl to be innocent, like because the world sees us this way. If you got a girl of trauma who's a little rough around the edges because of her trauma, you can't get past that roughness because I mean you can't get to the core of her because of you've already judged her roughness instead of
Mm,
trying to really get to know the person and why it is that they're this way. And you know what I mean? Like everybody's so quick to
yeah.
judge versus just understand why is this person this way. And I think I wanted to just like I said, just we gotta keep talking about these kind of things to keep raising awareness and shining lights on how we make it just so different for men and women, and we really not that different, and it shouldn't be that different. Like,
Mm. No, I agree, and this is definitely because I know we're this show kind of flew by today,
yeah,
but I just looked at the time. I'm like, oh, you know, we're running out of time here. I definitely want to revisit this conversation because there's a lot that needs to be said about this. But I'm gonna kind of leave it up to y'all in the comments. Like, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to add something that you heard from us that you want to piggyback? Right, that's what we do here. We piggyback
right.
and voice your opinions because your opinions matter. It shouldn't only be about wisdom and strength and what we think. We want to hear from y'all. So definitely leave your comments and yeah, this topic, man. There's a lot more to be like. We're just scratching the surface,
That's
really.
it. We always end up revisiting stuff. That's just what we do anyway, because the stuff we talk about it is not just related to stroke, it's related to life and how it impacts us all. And stroke just kind of like the icing on the cake. So we talk about everything. That's why this will definitely be revisited. And we definitely want your input and what you think we should be talking about more, and um, what you heard on this show that impacted you or may changed your mind or brought up some other feelings. Like, put that all in the comments, and always, feel the need. I mean, feel open enough to reach out to us about any and everything. And we're gonna always tell you to share your history, because everybody's history is important, not just minds or wisdoms, but all of ours. Because guess what? They're all intertwined in some form or fashion. We're all related. It's just what part of the cloth we're from. So we definitely want that history, but also stroke camp is coming, y'all. Stroke camp is coming. So
I can't wait, bro.
it's gonna be so turned up, but you still got a little bit of time to donate. If you want to donate anything, I'm gonna throw that up there for you. You can donate to the GoFundMe, because this is kind of the last 10 days of the GoFundMe for this in particular stroke camp. But we will be doing GoFundMes and all this stuff all year, probably forever now, because now that I kicked it off, it's about to get real. So remember, to try to treat male and female the same. I get that we have slight differences, little tweaks here and there, but things that's unacceptable for one should be unacceptable for the other. It shouldn't be one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? And and just start looking at people traumas a little different, I guess I'm saying. And accept that they're gonna look different. And if you try to go beneath their surface and get to know who they are at the core, you can find out if that's really the person you want to be around or with or whatever. Remember that when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. That you're loved, valued, and appreciated. You're everything you need to be, perfectly and perfect. Don't try to be nobody else but you, because your light is just as bright as anybody else's. Um, we love you with everything in us. We thank you and appreciate you taking the time out to watch this show today. And as always, come through with that strength in you.
Yo, you want to do the language thing? Because I like doing it.
Of course, I'm going to do that. I didn't forget. I can't stand.
Yo, for those who don't know, like, whenever Joy does the outro of the episode, like, I get so excited because I'm like, I get to mimic what she's doing. So I got a whole routine for the outro. So when I don't know, today was a weird day, so I was like, I really hope she does the outro so I can do my little song and dance for them. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you good. You're welcome, Sugarfoot. This is our pleasure. We love doing these shows. It's always beautiful to be able to inform our people and to give them more of us, because don't know light shine like strength and wisdom. So we got to put it out there like, no.
Ow. I don't think I've ever done, real quick, I don't think I've done the word ow as much as I've done it with you ever in my life, dude. I've never on a daily basis do the ow. But when I'm with you, I'm like, ow.
I love it. That means you be happy. You be with the cause.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But no, guys, and don't forget, we talked about these diabetes. I said crispy neck, but I don't know what else to call it now, because it's just a dark neck with cracks in it, and you be thirsty a lot, you pee a lot, you don't heal well. What else did I say?
I'm gonna call it bacon neck from now on. If you got bacon neck, you might have diabetes.
Right, so shut up. Oh, dry and itchy skin. So all these are signs of pre-diabetes, y'all. So go to the doctor often. Okay, at least once a year, check in, make sure you Gucci, because we don't want no problems. And again, prevention is key. That's what it's all about. Anything that works for us, know that it's just us being us. We giving you information from our personal perspectives. We are not doctors. We're not therapists. We're not anything of the professional standpoint. We're just stroke survivors giving you what we know and what we research on the internet. So don't think we got no PhDs or none of them things. We don't.
Come on now.
Did you say you got a Ninja Turtle?
I do.
You know what? I'm about to care about your turtle. No, I love the turtles though. I love that. But no, real talk, y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Now it's that time. It's that time. Get them crowns on. Let's get these crowns. I can't. My brother got me. Put your crown on. Now we're gonna put the lantern inside that crown, and you're gonna turn that light up and let it radiate all over your body. And if it ain't positive, it's gonna bounce back because you ain't accepting nothing but positive energy. We love you. We appreciate you. We
Love y'all.
Until next week, honey. Oh, before we forget, I almost forgot. Tune in Wednesday for Strokes of Humor. We're gonna laugh about that. And then we have our private support group on Fridays. And you can hit the Strengthen You page to find all the info for all this stuff. And I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.